This is Munkholmen. It's known these days as Trondheim's own summer island, but it hides a dark history. If you've ever arrived in Trondheim by coastal ferry or cruise ship, you may have noticed this small flat island just offshore. I last visited almost a decade ago, so a return visit was long overdue. So when a rare sunny day arrived in late August at the very end of the season, I took the short ferry ride across the fjord for a return trip before the service closed for the year. The boat leaves from Ravensklaw, right in the heart of Trondheim. Just look for the statue of the last Viking and the yellow wooden building, which serves as the ticket office. The ferry is old but comfortable with a covered seating area, but try to get space out on the rear deck if you can, because the route out of Trondheim's harbour gives you a wonderful perspective on the city and the experience of sailing right underneath this low bridge. Mind your head. The 10-minute journey is thoroughly enjoyable out on deck, and within just a few minutes the city falls behind and the island's stout stone walls begin to come into view. Despite the brevity of the trip, the change in atmosphere is striking, leaving the bustle of town behind for a place that feels peaceful and yet heavy with memory. On my late season visit, the usual summer crowds were gone. Families with picnic baskets had been replaced by just a handful of people taking advantage of the sunshine. It was the perfect chance to wander slowly, reflect on the island's history, and enjoy these terrific views. Few places in Trondheim carry as much layered history as Munkholmen, a place that has served as monastery, fortress, prison, place of execution, and military outpost. So I joined a guided tour to learn more. Although the guided tour turned out to be more of a lecture really, it was nevertheless an interesting introduction to Munkholmen and full of fascinating details. In the Viking Age, this was the spot where Olav Tryggvason placed the severed heads of his defeated enemies on poles as a warning to others. But by the early 11th century, the island became home to Nidarholm Abbey, thought to be Norway's oldest monastery. The monks built a thriving economic empire based on farmland, shipping, trade, and even brewing. Their wealth and influence stretched across Trøndelag as far as England and continental Europe. Centuries later, the Reformation ended monastic life. Ruins of the abbey were plundered for stone to build a fortress, which was expanded in the 1600s into a defensive stronghold and then a prison. But that wasn't all. During the Second World War, German forces stationed anti-aircraft weapons on the island to guard their submarine base in Trondheim. Today, Munkholmen is a summer escape for locals and visitors alike. Outside, the grassy areas are perfect for picnics, while the small beach is popular with families on warm days. Just be aware that grilling isn't permitted within the walls. On my previous visit, a bustling market was taking place here, but this time there was just a small art exhibition about the fjord beneath the surface. The cafe was still serving its signature dish, a hearty homemade fish soup, best enjoyed outdoors with a view back across the water to the city skyline. Waffles, ice creams and coffees were also available, of course. Ferries to Munkholmen run daily from late May to the end of August. The trip takes just 10 minutes with departures every hour during the summer season and a reduced schedule on weekends in September. Extra departures are often put on earlier in the day to meet demand, as it's often high whenever the sun shines in Trondheim. Watch this video next to see more of my recommendations of things to see and do in Trondheim, whatever the weather. And as always, thank you for watching.